Arizona game just ended. We get a W there. So I came in here yesterday, a little in my feels. Started the first episode, said I got a system. Since then, a friend of the channel and a sports bettor who's way better than me reached out to me, said, hey bro, you're a risk of ruin, especially with the way you make bets. You're going to be broke in no time. He said, let me turn you on to something different to try. Give me a month of it and see where you're at. I think you'll do a lot better. So I'm going to take his advice and we're going to start something new. I mean, we're pretty much even. I do want to say that I did add a bet after I talked to him, since I was like, well, since I'm going to change the system or whatever we're doing the next day. But he wants me to do one thing, and I'm going to do it because I trust in him way better than I trust myself. But there will be times I add other stuff into it. I'm going to keep, right now we're going to start with $100. This is what he told me to do. He said, you need to prove to yourself that you can build a bankroll just like you do in poker, bro. And he's got a good point. I need to be more disciplined, and I definitely need to keep myself accountable just like I do in poker. The problem is I look at sports betting as just for fun, but he said you need to take it more serious if you want to get good at it. So I am a man trying to get better. I'm always going to do it for fun, but I'm going to give his system he gave me a try. He had me send him pretty much all the games that I've bet on a little bit. It's something I've done before that he told me about, and I went away from it, and he was like, you were winning when you were doing it. Why'd you go away from it? And I don't know. I did have a winning record at it before, so I'm going to bring it to y'all here on the channel. This is for you. You know who you are. You know who you are. You said you didn't want me to mention you on here, but you know who you are. This is your system. Definitely not mine. But I'm going to do it for 30 days. We'll keep track of it and the overall bankroll. And I'm going to start with $100. The units are going to be, a standard unit's going to be $5. We're going to start small. That's kind of rough on the $100, but I mean, I got more in there. So hopefully we don't go down. He said that the thing is I got to learn that I got to start winning. So anyways, we'll go over what I had. I had the two bets last night. We ended up breaking completely even on them. Had Arizona and Kansas State. Now, I will say, if I would have been following the system he gave me, and he told me this when he first started talking to me, he said, think about what I'm telling you and then see the result. And if I would have done what he wanted me to do, I would have won. I wouldn't won as much, but it would have been profit over no profit, breaking even. So, but I did add a parlay, a two-team parlay of two games that I really liked, and that was Alabama A&M. The team they were playing, they were 10-0 in their last 10 games against them, and I really like that spot. And Florida A&M, FAMU, has been 10-0 against the spread in their last 10 going into the game last night and against Alcorn State. So I parlayed both them together and put the one unit on it, and we won there. So it was profitable on the night, even though the other two broke even. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start the system he told me about. And I'll go ahead and tell you how it would have worked tonight. Instead of just blindly taking underdogs or underdogs I like and doing like a martingale system where if I go on one of my losing streaks, which I'm known for, that's why you should be always fading the Hatter. That's why this whole show is Fade the Hatter. You should be definitely doing the opposite of what I do 90% of the time. But he said that overall, looking at all the games I sent him, he's like, you're not that far off. You're picking decent games. You're just going about it the wrong way. So he introduced me to pretty much a two-team teaser system. It's one he told me about before, and we're going to stick to that one. I was winning at it, but I don't know. It's kind of boring, I guess. I don't know. But I mean, now I'm doing the researches on the teams. I'm really trying to get out there and find good games to put in there. So I'll tell y'all what we're going to do. Oh, because I said I was going to say what would have happened last night. So pretty much you get it's a two-team 6-point teaser. You're going to get paid out at minus 140, which that kind of sucks. But as long as you're winning, 2/3 of the time. He said I'd need to be winning at this system over 70% of the time. We'll see how that works out. I can't win 50% of the time more or less anything else, but we're gonna stick to it. Now, before I was doing really good, like I said, But if I would have took it last night, I would have had Kansas State +8 in that game, and I would have had Arizona +8 in the same game, and or Arizona. So both of them would have stayed. Utah ended up winning by 5, so that would have won, and of course Arizona wins outright. So I would have won there, and then the other one that I had looked at, and after he told me, but I should have played it, but I didn't, was Lamar. I could have got 7.5 with them, and Northern Iowa. I liked both of them games also with them getting points after he told me about going back to this system. Both of them would have cashed also. Actually, I think both of them won outright if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back and check. But without further ado, that's sort of one of the main system that I'm going to be going until I can prove to myself and prove that his thing works if I pick the right games. I mean, if I pick the wrong games, I guess, there's a reason it's Fade the Hatter, y'all. But so tonight, we're going to do 2 6-point teasers. And I'll tell you who I got here and why. So the first one is going to be Texas A&M and Syracuse. Texas A&M is playing really good basketball. They're actually on a pretty nice winning streak. They're 7-3 out of their last 10. They like that. They play really good defense, and the games are usually really close. That's why I'm going with them. I'm getting 8.5. Yeah, 8.5 in this game. They're 4-3 away. They're playing Mississippi State. Mississippi State is 2-8 against the spread and 4-6 overall in their last 10. I just believe this game is going to be close, and honestly, I believe Texas A&M is going to win outright. If I was just sticking with the system I talked about yesterday, this is one of the games I would have took. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Texas A&M with +8.5 on the first side of this teaser, and then the second part of it, I am actually going to roll the dice here and go with Syracuse, moving the line to 16.5. Syracuse, I mean, this is dangerous here a little bit, but I like the spot. Both these teams are at the bottom of the ACC. It's crazy to think Syracuse is at the bottom of the ACC, but they're pretty evenly matched. Both teams kind of have their ups and downs. Now, I will say Syracuse is 3-7 in their last 10, but they're 7-3 against the spread. On the flip side, Pittsburgh is 3-7 in their last 10 also, but they're 3-7 against the spread. I think them giving Syracuse 10.5, even though Pittsburgh's at home, I think that's a little too much. Now, Pittsburgh does play a little bit better at home. 11-3 at home. 2-6 is the Q's record away from home. So I just think getting 16.5, I believe it's going to be a close game. Syracuse could win this game outright, honestly. But I expect it to be a really close game. And with it getting 16.5, I think this game is going to finish probably 8 or less. So that's going to be my first 2-team 6-point teaser. We'll move on to the next one. These teams are going to be a little smaller teams. This seems to be where I do a little bit better than I do in the Power 5 or whatever you call it, the big boy names. So in this one, this was a game that I really, when I first found this game, I was trying to find another game to kind of like parlay it with, because I felt good about this game like I did the FAMU and Alabama A&M game from yesterday. And that is Austin Peay going on the road to Bellarmine. Austin Peay ain't nothing special by no means, but the team they're playing is really bad. Really bad. And when I say really bad, they've lost their last 10 games. So now, if y'all been watching me for a while, this is usually where the team gets a win and I just completely jinx myself. But I think Austin Peay wins this game outright pretty easily. They're 6-4 in their last 10 games, but they're 8-2 against the spread. Also, they've been scoring the basketball pretty good. They're just the better team here. There's no reason they should lose this game, even on the road. Like I said, I was going to take them money line. I ended up putting them in the teaser. I'm going to get +2, but it shouldn't even come to that. It shouldn't come to that. This should be an easy win for Austin Peay. when I do this, and even when I talk to him, I don't like to move the line from a favorite down. It seems like it always bites me in the butt. And if this bites me in the butt tomorrow, I'm just going to stop doing it this way. I'm always just going to try to get as many points as I can. But anyways, the other game I'm putting that with on the other side of the 6-point teaser is going to be Eastern Kentucky. They're going to be at home. That's why I really like this one. And they're playing Lipscomb. Now, Lipscomb, both these teams are 8-2 in their last 10 games. So they're both two of the better teams in the league. I believe they're second and third in the league. Yeah, second and third in the league here. Lipscomb 9-5 away. Eastern Kentucky is 9-3 at home. So it ain't like Lipscomb plays terrible on the road. So, but in the last 10, Lipscomb is 5-4-1 ATS. Eastern Kentucky is 6-4 ATS. The reason I like this game is this right here. I'm getting 9.5, and they played earlier in the year at Lipscomb on January 30th, and actually Eastern Kentucky beat them at home. So, I mean, come on, if they beat them at 9, if they beat them by 9 at their home court, all they got to do is win or lose by 9, right? It seems simple. It seems super simple. So those are pretty much going to be the two bets for tonight. I don't see me adding anything. There was another one I looked at. I'll bring it up real quick. I almost did this one, but it just feels so trap heavy. I really thought about taking this one, y'all, and I'm trying not to talk myself into it as I'm talking to y'all. And it's two of the bigger teams. I always say that this is where I get trapped. Now, there's a couple of games I looked at. Butler would be getting, I can move it to 12.5 at Xavier. That was one I kind of looked at to give y'all an idea of some of the other ones. And now that I can put it on here, I can go back and watch this episode and see if some of these leans I had worked out and kind of give my an idea, like, just because one team goes bad, am I finding the right games? The other one that I was looking at was Purdue going on the road to Michigan State. Michigan State's been pretty hot, but in the last 10 games head-to-head, Purdue is 9-1 against them. And I understand them are games in the past, but sometimes that gets in teams' head. Both teams have been 7-3 in their last 10, but Purdue has been 7-3 against the spread, whereas Michigan State is 5-4-1. I really thought about moving this. I think I could get it all the way up to 9.5 or 10, depending on how the line moves. And I thought about taking Purdue right there with almost 10 points. And then I thought about putting them also with another Big Ten matchup. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and say it now. I'm not going to do this because I'm trying to talk myself into it as I'm talking to y'all about it. The other game that I thought about putting them with them, and I would have got 10.5 with it, is Illinois against going to Wisconsin. Another one where Illinois is 9-1 against Wisconsin in their last 10 matchups, which is kind of crazy because Wisconsin's been a good basketball team for a while. But 9-1 and also 9-1 ATS against them, the last 10 head up. But Illinois 5-5 in their last 10, 4-6 against the spread. Wisconsin's been a little bit hotter. They've been 8-2 in their last 10 and 8-2 ATS. This was sort of the situation where I went away from it because I was just a little worried. I talked myself out of it. I really was close to pulling the trigger on that one. I don't know. I ain't going to do it. So we're just going to stick with the 2 today. Y'all tell me what y'all think about the 6-point teaser system. Definitely, this is something that he really had me talked into and I was doing well at. I'm not sure why I went away from it. I was doing it right up until the Super Bowl. And then when the Super Bowl happened, I kind of got away from it. And I've never went back to it pretty much. So I'm definitely interested. I've never really kept track. I just knew I was doing sort of well. But there for a while, before I started doing this and putting it on YouTube, I was actually doing a little better than what I did now. But, I mean, shoot, as long as y'all fade me, y'all going to win. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Please get in the comments. If you have any other systems, right now I'm sticking to college basketball. I ain't really messed a lot ever with the NBA. I'm definitely going to ramp this up come college football. The Fade the Hatter will become probably a cast of characters when football season gets here. And we'll probably have a big weekly show on top of me doing daily videos like this at 6 a.m. Eastern time. Hopefully y'all stick with me. Who knows? Maybe I'll get good at this and we can, I either got to get real good at it so y'all can start following the Hatter, or I just got to keep on getting worse and worse and worse, and then Fade the Hatter, y'all still get rich watching me. That's what it's all about. So, like I said, I'll see y'all tomorrow with a new set of picks, and we'll see how this does. I'm interested to see, tracking this exact system, how I do all the way through March Madness, because he's really excited about me doing it during the conference tournaments and March Madness. He says that's where some real value can be made. So we'll see. Shout out to him one more time. I hope you're turning your boy on to something positive to bring my channel. Y'all have a blessed one. I'll see y'all tomorrow.